And Vici, I thought, did the best job out of every other team with the Naga Siren strat, but we'll see what EG wants to do.
Yeah, EG maybe a little more confident trying to take them in a straight-up fight. Ewo, a very confident player. He's one of the more outspoken ones. Smash is pretty quiet. He's got the skills to pay the bills, but kind of keeps to himself. Fogged and Ewo do most of the talking.
Well,
for
who
the team,
speaks English other than Fogged and Ewo?
Uh,
I don't think Smash does.
No, Smash doesn't really. Mystico does some. I think he speaks more than he likes to. He kind of does the nod and the yes and no thing, but I think he understands pretty well. Mihawk has not said a word to me, so I'm not sure how his English
I think
is.
he's just hating your guts, honestly.
Yeah. It's hard when you have Fog because he's always just yakking away about something.
That's true.
That man
Gotta
does
love
have a tongue.
Fog.
So what is the key for Notoday, Ben? If they're going to have a chance here, is this where you go Hail Mary? Do you do something crazy? Do you throw the rulebook out and just try to get EG out of their comfort zone? Or do you stick with what you know and maybe be a little more predictable?
I think it's not stick with what you know. I think if they pick Ember Spirit, we'll see them get destroyed like Vici got destroyed with Ember yesterday. I mean, they were really, really good about just killing him over and over again and making sure that Super did not get any sort of farm.
Yeah.
What
Well,
else
that's
is-
exactly what happened by Vici against Notoday, where they just shut down the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, they really seem to falter in the middle late game decision making. So I think they really need to draft strong lanes and heroes that aren't susceptible to ganks, or just put a lot of pressure on Zion PBD to kind of force reactions out of them, as opposed to them playing greedy and making plays around the map. So I liked what they did with the LC yesterday. I liked what we saw in the qualifiers with the axe on Ewo. Just a little bit of pressure away from Smash and giving Ewo like a really hard carry to, or someone that fights a lot early and is a hard carry like Morphling. We saw him dominate with Morphling. He was like, I would even say like 5 or 6 kills even before he got his first big item, which is pretty unusual for a Morphling. So I say they have to come together as 5. If they do like a 4 protect 1, not going to work out. But that doesn't mean that they shouldn't draft late game. It's just they have to fight early. That is their strength. They terrible at pushing high ground. They're not very good at controlling Roshan, and they will not win past like 35.
I feel like no matter what heroes they pick, they always play aggressive, and
Yeah,
it's not always
they
the right
should.
heroes for the choice, right? But
Yes.
like I remember Fogg was complaining, like, because sometimes when they talk really fast, he can't understand them quite as well as he would like, and he's just following them to his death, like, because they dive so far, like past tier 3s when there's still a tier 1, like things like that. So, I mean, they're gonna ban the Brewmaster 100% against Smash, right? His Death Prophet and Ember Spirit haven't been too effective in the tournament so far. So what does he play other than
He
that?
can play
that
so
would be
many
effective?
things.
Smash is one of those players that is really hard to ban against because he has such a diverse hero pool. One hero we haven't seen him on recently is the Kunkka, and he plays a really mean Kunkka, which I would love to see just pop out at some point in this series and maybe catch EG.
Yeah, that's
little
kind of
more
a wild card pick. I like that as
or
a core.
Mid-Nature's Prophet too.
The Nature's
Smash
Prophet.
plays that. I think that's pretty good, and it might catch EG off guard.
Yeah. I think Smash on Death Prophet is a little bit lackluster, not because he has a poor Death Prophet, just because he shines on higher skill cap heroes. You know, DP towards the late game, you hit the ultimate, throw out some Crypt Swarms, and he's good at positioning and that stuff. But I feel like where he really takes over games is when he has someone like Ember Spirit or someone that's a little more
Invoker.
yeah. Does Smash play a strong Invoker? He does actually. We haven't seen it yet this tournament, though, have we?
I think we saw it once, but they lost.
Once they lost
The
it.
problem with Ember is you get shut down early, it's hard to come back, even
You're
when you
done
get
so.
to Battle
Or
Period.
if they draft like we saw Draw Ranger, I think, just smash Ember. With the 6 duration silence is way too long for Ember to handle, and the normal items just don't really work out. So
I think in the end, just unpredictable picks might be
4th
the
or
best bet
5th pick for Smash, similar. To what Secret do for Kirogi.
We also haven't seen too much Centaur this tournament. That's a hero that Mihawk has played a lot in the past. From when I cast them online, that's one of his go-to offlaners. Where's the Centaur been this tournament, Ben? Where's Big Brad?
It's not as popular.
I think he picked it once.
Yeah, he's okay.
I mean, he's been played a little bit, but
He struggles a lot in lane, I feel like, especially with the way that the supports have been playing in the jungle. And I don't know. I still think he's pretty good. I think it would fit Smash's, their
Mihawk.
Yeah, Mihawk's playstyle very well. And he plays a nice clockwork, too. So I think just the aggressive offlaner is not the one that, we've seen him play Nature's Prophet. He gets a little bit behind early, and he spends the whole entire game catching up through farm as opposed to catching up through kills. So kills is the name of the game, not farm.
Right. So let's flip sides here. EG, they're probably feeling pretty confident. They're always feeling confident.
Even when they get wrecked in the first day.
Yeah, even going into the finals, coming out of a rough group stage, they'll still be super confident against the hardest competition in the tournament. But against Notoday, what do you think EG is looking at? Any pocket strats? What's going to be the PPD special here?
I don't think there's any pocket. I think they just control Smash. That's their number one priority.
Get Lycan or TB, out farm, drag on to late, draft Tidehunter to get to that 35-minute point.
It feels like they get Lycan so often, which is
they
crazy.
really do.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many heroes you have to ban against them. It's like impossible.
Yeah. EG is a really hard team to draft against.
All right. Well, do you guys want to do predictions?
I mean, easily EG. It's just where's the line?
Yeah.
at?
What's the number though?
I think the 90-10 is
90-10s.
No. Like
close.
the series, the actual series.
Oh, the number of the.
Yeah.
I think 3-1 EG. I think Notoday will take a game off EG, especially in these longer series. EG is a team that's not really afraid to experiment, and just talking to PPD and hearing how they kind of go about it. They're not afraid to try something. If they win game 1, go into game 2, try something a little bit different. If it doesn't work, just tap out early and say, GG, go next. Let's just finish out this series. And that's sort of a recurring pattern I've seen with them, just on online stuff, especially in best of fives, and you have that wiggle room. So I'm pretty confident it won't be a 3-0 sweep, even if EG is pretty dominant in most of the games. I think if they go 2-0 early on, they'll do something a little different or experimental in the game 3.
I think Notoday wins the first game, wakes up EG, and then EG takes the next 3. So 3-1. But mine's more detailed, so I win.
3-1, but Notoday is going to take the first game. I think they'll take the second or third.
Okay.
Ben?
No, you have to pick one.
Okay, the third.
I'll say 3-0. EG just want to get this over with.
Maybe.
Focus on Cloud9 tomorrow. And
Kick back, relax, watch the games today, and do some homework.
Cloud9 does not want to see EG. That's for damn sure.
They absolutely don't. For this tournament, it was not, if you're number 1 in groups, you don't get to pick. It's just top seed goes to the top, and second seed goes to the bottom of the bracket.
Right.
And Cloud9 felt very strongly that they should be able to pick which side that they're on as a number 1 in the group advantage. I think partially because they don't want to play the early time tomorrow if they had a choice, and also they just...
Well, but if they're on the other side of the coin, it would be completely different. So
I mean,
that's
every
hard to say.
seeded tournament works like this, though, right? If you have, it's like 1, 4, 5, and the second place plays like the third / 6. So I think it's pretty reasonable.
Yeah,
Well,
I think it is.
Not every tournament. Our tournament's actually...
Oh, really?
you get to pick.
I mean, like March Madness.
Right. No,
So-
it's the general way to do things for sure. I think it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, but
And the fact that it was, the rules were in place way before the tournament even started, and they didn't disagree until they were in position to actually disagree, if that makes sense, then it's
Yeah.
kind of hypocritical. So
yeah. Well, I mean, they weren't complaining. It was just more of sort of asking, and then when I said this is the way it worked, they were a little, are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to change your mind there? Okay, all right, whatever. So we should have a game
here's some
coming up.
Cloud9 hats to bribe you. We have a lot of those around the
So
house.
I'm not sure how our lobby's looking. Are we okay? Not so good. So Parker, you want to come join us here? No, he doesn't. He gives us that look like. Oh, okay. Tell us a joke, David Parker. Oh wait, he's got to find a headset.
Apparently, we can go to break. So
All
now
right,
that
we can go to
God is
break.
on
Well, now that
screen.
Parker's sat down, let's at least let him say hi.
Hi.
Hello, friends.
We got some videos for you guys, apparently.
We've got more videos.
By videos, I mean a break.
Some advertisement.
I
videos,
learned
perhaps.
I learned that trick from Pyrian. Like when someone said, "Oh, go to an ad break," and he did the really nice transition where he says, "We've got some videos for you guys." I'm like, that's a really nice euphemism for ads. And now I'm just gonna keep on doing that whenever we have to go to an ad break. It's like we've got some videos.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay, guys. Well, then let's do it. We've got some videos coming your way, and after these videos are complete, we'll have the Evil Geniuses against Notoday for the beginning of the bracket here in the Summit 2 by G2A.com.
Hey, buddy, I got you covered. Corsair Gaming! Yeah! Corsair Gaming! Yeah!
Radiant Team Band.
Alo, alo 1 2 3 4. Alo. À vâng, alo, xin chào các bạn. Chúng ta không còn phải chờ đợi đâu nữa. Giờ chúng ta sẽ đến với trận đấu đầu tiên trong ngày thi đấu.